so muted, making sure we are good. And all right, we are good to go. Brother Derpy said, I would like to clarify that the city of Philadelphia did more damage to the city after winning the Super Bowl than Red Hulk did in Captain America Brave New World.
Oh.
Brother, that celebration was insane. And Miles came in and said, burn it down.
Burn it down. They said don't climb on the light poles. So what did they do? They took the light poles.
Whose intro is that, by the way? Is that
was...
CM Punk?
Oh,
or no, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Why did I say CM Punk? I meant Seth.
Yeah.
My fault. They were
That
sort of
freaking guy.
both edgelord-ish. So
yeah, they had
that's my
the
fault.
mid-2000s emo look. Yeah.
Miles asked DE, I still didn't see Captain America. How was it? I heard it was really good. I heard it had not a double meaning, but it was more like it had one of those underlining messages that like actually contributed to society if we actually listened, you know.
Damn.
Like, yeah, it was one of those.
Did you see Anthony Mackie was at the theater at Disney World? They like pause the movie and he's like, "What y'all doing?" And they were like, "What?
What the hell?"
Yeah, they turned the lights on. It was there's a theater out at what is it? Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I saw it on TikTok. Yeah.
Wow.
They had the location tag. It said Lake Buenaventura or whatever, and I was like, "What?" And I clicked it. And it was like, "Yeah."
Dude, I saw this one. I guess he's like a comedian or whatever. I saw he was at like the Daytona 500.
Really?
Yeah, he was literally like there. I guess one of his boys was because I guess they had a falling out, but like he was literally like right there.
They had some
like,
random people. They had the Rizzler was at like 90% of it. He was going into like the cars and they were taking him into like the trailers and stuff. I'm like, what,
bro?
They didn't even have the other boom guys. They just had the Rizzler. That was the only one they had, I think.
I've really been touching so much grass. I don't know what the hell going on. And Miles said, "Let me clarify, boys. When I said burn it down, I meant the NBA."
Oh.
And then Derby said mid Miles, it was passable. Miles said the All-Star game was complete trash.
You can ask me anything about it. I will not know. I didn't watch any of it.
I tried.
Click it.
I tried, but we'll have a conversation about it.
Yeah, I mean, I know Mac McClung won the dunk contest. There's like
so
bare minimum. But.
So the whole every year it's just the format now. Yeah. Like this past season, what was wrong with me? Sunday, they did like it was like Team Shaq and I guess like Team Kenny.
Yeah.
And then they split it up, made it like almost like a round robin tournament with like different players.
Okay.
And then what ended up happening, like they instead of having like 150 point score limit, it went to 40.
Oh.
Just so it was just more so like so we're not literally watching like a 3-point contest, but like it was just like all right, like first to 40.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
People were basically just upset with just the whole format because I'll be real, it was very difficult to follow along.
See, like, I didn't even watch it, but I just knew. I mean, there were like hardcore people that watch this, and they're like, "I'm not watching it." So I'm like, "Okay."
And the other thing too that a lot of people were upset about was like, I guess when they did like USA versus World, like a couple guys, they were upset that they didn't have that event on Friday like they normally do. Now you have guys who are like barely just making an all-star game that are able to touch the Sunday night floor.
That makes sense.
Because the Sunday night floor used to be reserved for like just all-stars.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were upset about like young guys being able to like share the court as them.
Yeah.
And just the format in general. I don't know. I think Steph won the 3-point contest. I don't remember. Okay. And Matt actually jumped over a car.
He did. He wasn't doing the Blake Griffin hood.
I mean, no disrespect to Blake. I mean, like, no one would have cleared that.
Someone they cocked and loaded in the comments because someone's like, Blake already did that.
Right.
He jumped over the hood, which is true because it's a little bit more impressive.
I mean, but he cleared the car.
Cleared it.
Like, that's difficult.
Yeah.
That's difficult. And my fault, y'all. Let me get to the comments. Miles said, I heard about that, Ronnie. He was in Orlando.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
And then Derpy said, Ronnie looking like your average skater from 2000s.
Limp Bizkit, yeah.
I was just listening to them yesterday.
Were you really? Yeah.
Yeah. And then Miles said that's what he heard about the movie. But if Philadelphia got more messed up than Red Hulk, you knew it was gonna happen. Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah,
about the Super Bowl as
yeah.
well. And then Miles also said, which is even more understandable, the Chiefs got the Diddy party.
Ooh,
The Diddy party.
damn.
That's tough.
The Diddler.
And he said there's more important things this week. F Canada, USA, USA, USA.
Yeah.
And is that for
Hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a meme. I forgot it was like every other or sports representation of USA versus Canada, and then it was like hockey. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll fight for my country, and it was
No, I honestly I think hockey, like that rivalry,
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah.
Those dudes don't care. It's like Bills fans, but it's just
Right.
like the whole country.
Right.
It's crazy, yeah.
Right. So definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. We did miss last week. We were caught up, so we weren't able to air. But hey, we are here now, and honestly, I think we'll just do a quick recap, or actually, we'll talk about it. Let me be quick. We can actually sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
I was gonna wear my jersey, but then I actually have some other Philly merch coming in. It's supposed to be here Friday.
Oh, okay.
So I'll wear it next week.
Without giving away too much, did you just get the shirt or you got the jersey with the patch?
I just got the shirt.
Okay, that's the jersey with the patch. Bro.
Yeah.
I just buy the patch and slap it on.
No, because for real, I looked up the jersey. I was like, yo, like the jersey was like, I'm not gonna lie, like her and I combined, it was like the cost of food.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not trying to be that dude. I'm really not trying to be that dude on a podcast and stuff. But like, I looked up the price and I said that's literally a food bill for the both of us.
Yeah, there's no way.
So I was like, you know what?
At the very least, I mean, what I've always done personally, and you can call me cheap for it, I'll wait till the following season. Either they get on clearance or someone puts it on like a Depop, eBay, and I'm like, I'll just get it.
I mean, at this point, you might as well. That's the smarter thing.
Yeah,
to do.
and like you can wear it in the summer, but like football jerseys kind of take a backseat. Right. That's like a baseball jersey, basketball jersey, summer thing. So I wouldn't spend that much.
I think it was like 2 seasons ago when everybody was wearing like the vintage tees, like all the football players were coming in on Sundays. Like that's what I got.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so cool. I got one for Saquon, I got one for Jalen.
Yeah.
So
some of the designs from like these little companies are like 1,000 times better than the NFL.
100%.
I'm like, I'll pay $30 for that compared to $35
for real. I'll pay full price for that.
Graphic designers go crazy.
That joint was going hard.
I know.
And then Miles said the Taylor Swift tour has come to an end finally.
It has.
And Derby says Sean looking like welcome to GameStop fit. Bro, honestly, I got the PGs on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got the PG. I think these are the 3s or the 4s. No, I think these are the 2s or 3s.
The colorway? Is that the Jordan? Is it the?
Yeah, it's just
8?
like a.
It's like that colorway at the bottom. I think there's a Jordan that has that colorway.
I forget. No, I know which one you're talking about. I think
it's one with like the cross straps up top. Yeah.
Honestly, I think this is supposed to be like a birthday cake mix.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
So yeah,
okay. Those are clean though. Yeah.
Yeah. I have like. Yeah, I'll show you afterwards, bro. I got like 6-7 pairs of PGs, bro. Yeah, it was crazy. Damn. Yeah, it was. Shout out, most hated basketball player right now.
Oh my God. The Cancun boy. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh.
Miles said, thank you, Philly. And shout out to Devin for being Casper because he's a ghost.
Yeah, he's a ghost.
So I actually saw him last week. Stopped by. He came back and got some of his Philly stuff.
Look at him.
I don't blame him. Well, he was coming for some other stuff.
Yeah.
He got his Philly. Hey, I don't blame him. They just won, so let him get his.
Let me tell you something, too, because he can attest to it. We're watching the game. I'm hugging this dude. I'm dapping him up every single time. The Cooper DeJean pick 6. Funny enough, I was taking a pee. I was pissing.
Yeah.
And I hear them go, "Ah!" And I was like, "Oh damn, what happened?" I walk out. He's like, Cooper, his favorite player.
Yeah.
Pick 6 in the Super Bowl. And I came over there. I was like, I'm gonna dap you up and hug you, dude, because that was crazy.
So watching the game, I was Kawhi Leonard the whole time.
Oh.
And I'll let her tell you after because I did not. I was straight face the entire time.
Really?
Because I went into it with like low expectations that we were gonna get hoed.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what? I'll just watch it and I'll accept fate.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went up, pick, sack, when Hurts hit Devontae down the seam, like all that, Kawhi. I was Kawhi the
Yeah.
whole time.
No, I know. You had to be.
I was literally waiting for the script to flip after Kendrick performed. I was just like, all right, this is what happened last year.
I know.
Or no, I'm sorry, 2 seasons ago.
Same thing.
I was like, all right.
You guys were up by 10 with like 13 minutes left.
Yep.
I know.
So I was like, all right, I'll let it slide. They got like a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, they started getting garbage time momentum.
Sacked.
Yeah.
Then we scored field goal. I was like, all right, cool. And then it literally got to like 22 in the fourth quarter. And then I was sweating. I was just like, all right, can we please just finish the game? And thankfully we finished the game.
Yeah. You guys wrapped it up.
Derby also says, shout out to Devin for being the great father too, for abandoning the show.
He went to get milk and didn't come back.
Oh man, so update, because totally forgot to update you guys, but he told us about like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he is planning on coming back. He's looking for another job, so obviously he can't leave his current job. So once he finds a better job, he will be back. So.
It's just the schedule right now for him, but yeah, he's still in it, so he's not completely gone.
Yeah, he's gonna come back. It's just with his career field right now, he just like it's all money and work and like just no.
We gotta breathe sometimes.
Yeah,
you guys know that. I mean, you get off and like you can't just keep going. You gotta sit down and relax. So.
And I can attest to that because I used to work in that line of business too. You would get home like 8, 9 o'clock, and you would just literally eat, shower, in bed. And then all like same thing again. It's like
this isn't a life podcast, and but like we're not built to work like that either. I don't think our bodies are like meant to do that for the rest of our lives. So
I think
you got to find the work balance. But
I think it's more so when. Like if you make like a lot of money, like for the people who do like the oil field and
that's like 15 hours, 16 hours a day
in the middle, in the middle of the ocean and stuff. But I mean, you're getting like they have like everything paid, and they're getting.
You could retire by the time you're like 40, right? And so you have the rest of your time there. But it's crazy.
It's one of those lines of businesses where it's like you just got to put in like a good maybe 10, 15, however long,
and then you can get to an upper position where you can kind of step back a little bit, not a lot of hands on. Yeah, it's a method to it. But.
Right. And let's see. Miles also said, "I know we need Devin to show up now that y'all won." And Miles said, "Cool, yeah,
cool,
yeah." That whole arena lit up when he caught
this dude. He is the Nick Foles for you guys this year, as far as like he's cemented. They're bowing down to this dude in the city, man. They love him.
Yo, the press conference when they were like the exciting whites, and then Goddard and Coops. I was like, okay. The exciting white. I was like, oh,
they embrace that shit too, yeah.
Nah, that joint was funny. Derby said, we got the exciting whites and Cooper Jazine and Mac McClung before GTA 6.
Oh my god.
And did we see the SNL 50th anniversary? I did not.
Only whatever was popping up on my TikTok. So a couple of like small skits, but I know Post Malone and the original Nirvana band like performed the songs and stuff. I guess he didn't do too bad, but no, I didn't watch too much of it.
Right.
Some of those skits, man, like this is gonna make sense when I say it's like coworker humor.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It used to be so funny, like way back in the day when there was like Adam Sandler, like the original dude Jimmy Fallon. I can't watch it.
I think it's because it was more like uncensored back then. It was more raw, so you could get away with.
Yeah, that's true. And you can make a joke and you could say something, and people would be like, "That's funny," but now it's like
because it was almost like shock value, like, "Oh crap, he actually said that."
Yeah.
But now it's like, "Oh, like why did you say that?"
Oh, he's gonna get suspended. He has to write an apology.
It's it's like people used to get mad, like the Kanye fans would get mad when like the comedians would laugh at him.
Yeah.
It's like now, like back then it was funny, but now it's like, oh, why are you making fun of him?
Well, it's even like when Dave Chappelle did it, I feel like he got in trouble. I don't remember what it was. And it was definitely something, and maybe he was justified in having to apologize, but I remember like he said something that he could have said 20 years ago.
Right.
Perfectly fine.
Right.
But they flamed him. So that's just where it's at now. But yeah. Oh well.
And he said Adam Sandler on he sang he sang a song.
Oh, I did see a little bit of that too.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. No, I completely missed that. I'm sorry. I was this was like last week was like the busiest week for me. So
really? Yeah.
Yeah. I did not get I was touching so much grass and I was just not here. So
getting out of the house.
I do apologize. So overall about DE, I'm not trying to rub it in your face, but how did Kenny Pickett?
Oh God!
How did Kenny Pickett get a Super Bowl?
Meaningful snaps against Patrick
that is bro sealed the game. It is like it is weird as hell because I vouched for that signing too. I vouched for that, and our third string looked better than him.
Tanner McKee went out there and threw 2 or 3 touchdown passes in that one game.
That joint was crazy.
I honestly, I think you guys can probably get a 4th or a 5th round pick for him this year for Pickett. I would just put McKee in there. He's fine. He did okay.
So we just got a new offensive coordinator in Kevin Patullo for offensive coordinator replacing Kellen Moore.
Where did he come from? Do you know?
I think he was already on the team. He was just elevated.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was already on the team before he was just elevating to the position.
Gotcha.
And he said, "I don't know, man. 2 rings sounds good. I guess I got 6 still." Man, ain't nobody talking about that. It was just the fact that y'all had Kenny, and then he come over here. I'm just like, crap. He won. He actually got a champion.
Listen, this dude grew up an Eagles fan.
Yep.
Gets drafted in the 1st round. Gets his 1st round money.
Mm-hmm.
Plays some meaningful games for you guys this year in injury relief. And then takes snaps in the Super Bowl that you guys win.
Garbage minutes.
Garbage minutes, but he's still going to be in the record book.
Yeah, he did get a stat. And I literally said I was just like, all right, do not let him throw a ball.
Yeah,
he threw a pass and it was it was incompleted. I'm surprised that joint wasn't picked. I was just like, I literally said, don't let him throw. I literally said, don't let him throw the football.
Get that O-line and just push him.
I was like, please just run the ball. Don't let him. Don't even draw up a play for him to throw the ball.
He doesn't need to.
But overall, I'm pretty sure Devin was like really ecstatic about.
Oh yeah, overall. I told you he was optimistic going into it.
Yeah.
He had like no fear and like the thought of losing. He was like, this game, I think we got it. Saquon's the difference maker. All this stuff. I'm like, okay, and it was just like gas pedal. I mean, he never got upset once. There really wasn't a reason to. So no, he was happy the whole time.
Yeah, I was legit like Kawhi Leonard. I did like he would have probably been high. I literally would have just sat there like the
take it in because you just know,
Like I'm just like, all right, like we're eventually we're gonna get hoed and they're gonna flip the script and everything's gonna work in their way. But yeah, we honestly made that team look like a JV football team.
No, the way and here we go again. I'm bringing up Tom Brady and the Patriots. That would not happen if Tom Brady was a quarterback for any football team. What happened in that Super Bowl? How many did he throw? 2 or 3 picks? Mahomes? I think 3.
I think.
Was it 2 touchdowns? 3
Bond,
picks?
Coop, and then so 2. I feel like he. Let me look.
Maybe it was 3 turnovers. Did he fumble one time? Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. It might have been 3 total
turnovers.
It was
a fumble.
Okay, so
it was the one where it looked like he got fucking rolled up on a smack.
Yes. I know what.
Yeah.
So that was, I think it was 3 total turnovers is what it was.
And then everybody was like, "Oh, where's the call? Where's the calls?
Yeah,
calling nothing." I was just like, "All
leave
right,
it alone."
We can say the same thing for you as well.
Let me see if it shows. I think that's what it was though.
It brought up. Oh, here we go. I was about to say it brought up so he had 3 total turnovers, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble.
There we go. Okay.
So yeah.
But yeah, and then it brought me so much joy as they're on the sidelines and they were mic'd up. Some of them, I think it was Chris Jones. I think Mahomes was there too, and it was like, it's only 24 points. It's only 24 points. It's been done before. We can do it. Can't do it.
When
it wasn't happening.
I forget which one. I think when they threw an incomplete pass on 3rd down and Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Bro was irate. He got up off the bench. He was just like, he threw his arms up and I was like, man, I feel his pain.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Exactly. Because that's one that we needed.
Yeah.
He said, Derby said, "I'm going to be real. That Super Bowl sucked ass regardless of the positive outcome. It won't be remembered at all except by Philly fans." So I actually disagree with you. It will be remembered because we stopped the 3-peat. We stopped the Taylor Swift montage. it ultimately stopped Chiefs' kingdom. So I wouldn't go as far as to say it sucked. I mean, it was. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's the Super Bowl, so it's going to be
it wasn't
most viewed.
It wasn't back and forth like our Super Bowl
right.
with Mahomes or with Foles and Brady, but it was. Yeah, it'll be remembered for like end of the three-peat.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be remembered high scoring. The Chiefs got floored. That's pretty much what it'll be remembered for. Yeah.
So, and Derp, you said it was very one-sided. Compared to Chiefs 49ers,
yeah,
I would say I would go as far as to say that Super Bowl sucked.
This Super Bowl I would watch 10 times out of 10 over last year's Chiefs
Agreed.
49ers. The first Chiefs 49ers was okay.
Mm-hmm.
This last one was not, and then this one was definitely more entertaining at least than that one before. Cause
I would say this one had a lot more implications going into it as far as they were ready to crown him the GOAT already, better than Brady. Is this a dynasty? They were ready to give the NFL was ready to push this team over the hill and didn't even think once about Philly, but Philly had more to prove, had more to win. I mean, it was just like, all right, we've been here before, so we definitely got to get a dub. But I understand that's your opinion, so I'm not dunking on your opinion. I think what you're saying about this Super Bowl is actually more relevant to last year's, when it was boring. It was a low-scoring game going into the half. I think,
was it like 10-10 halftime?
Yeah.
10-7?
It was very stupid. Very low score, and then that's when Greenlaw
popped the Achilles,
and then it was just if it just rained, it poured. So that one, that was bad. They couldn't really get anything going after halftime, and I think they only scored once, either in the third or fourth quarter, as far as San Francisco.
Yeah, it wasn't anything to write home about. I mean, I couldn't even tell you anything really past what you just said. That was the big bullet points of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't memorable at all. So, I mean, this was much better.
Yeah.
And now you look at it, I mean, and I want to knock on wood because you never say never, but I don't think that we're ever going to talk about a three-peat with them again.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they got to win two more and then get to the third. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Because Andy Reid's coming back, obviously Mahomes is going to be there, but they gave a deadline for Travis.
Yeah, if he wants to retire, I think March 20th or something. Yeah, around free agency.
Right, because they want to know if they need to pick somebody up, either trade or draft.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which is fair, because I saw analysts talking about it, and I mean, to me, it's fair.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Chad and Shannon talk about it as well. It's a fair point.
That's, I mean, at the very least, I mean, they've done a lot for each other. So, I mean, I feel like, they went to him and said, hey, we need to know soon because we can plan ahead for it. So, I don't think it's disrespectful. I think it's right on par for what they need.
But. Right. How'd you feel about the halftime show?
I thought it was good. I mean, the old middle-aged people were like, can't understand. Okay, whatever. But no, I thought it was fine. Trying to think. I think it wasn't as flashy and showy because I don't think you could have expected that of him because I think some people wanted this pomp and circumstances flair. You didn't really get that, but I thought it was good. I mean, he performed well, big crowd and everything like that. So I didn't have any problem with it.
I was trying to think of all his songs that he's I guess concert performing songs because some artists will have some songs where they can go out, it'll move a crowd.
Yeah.
And I genuinely felt like he was so hip hop to where I was just it wouldn't really be conveyed well.
Well, I would have loved one of my favorite albums of all time is Good Kid, Mad City. I would have loved one or two songs, but I knew he wasn't going to play it. It's not mainstream enough for that crowd. So
I think it was more so just the troll.
Yeah,
because he definitely wanted to get a few songs off just to shoot some pot shots.
Yeah,
and
not like us. Obviously, that's you could ask a 12-year-old and you could ask a 50-year-old. Everyone knows that song, so that's what he was going to close with.
Right.
But, he did good on that. I mean, the hand to the camera when he smiled, that's what people ate that up. So I thought it was good overall.
Yeah, I like how there was just a meaning to the whole to the performance as well. It was and I should have thought of it too, coming from Kendrick. Obviously he would do something.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone that I don't mean to compare it, but so Lil Wayne performed at the Saturday Night Live 50 thing. He was on there, he did his couple songs, whatever. He sounded decent, but I'm up there and I'm maybe the Super Bowl would have been different, but he did not perform well.
It's funny too because I was just listening to Shannon and Ocho talk about that, and they said the exact same
thing. Did they really?
Yes.
I'm like, the way he's moving, I mean, he's a lot of drugs have gone through that man's system. The brain's a little fried. God bless him, but like, yeah, I just don't think that would have been, maybe to bring him out somewhere in the middle. Cool. I think they would have popped for it, but yeah, I don't think he could have carried that by himself.
You're right.
I couldn't see it. Yeah.
Agreed. I think that would have been a worse performance than, I mean, Kendrick's wasn't even bad at all, but you probably would have rather had Kendrick and SZA out there.
The Wayne idea, I think they knew too. They were like, I don't think we can throw him out there. Right. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work.
Right. So to wrap up the Super Bowl, moving forward, honestly, I'm glad everybody got theirs.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I get it. Yes, 2 Super Bowls, but this season we made history. Saquon almost apparently he broke the single season and postseason record for rushing, so he got Offensive Player of the Year. Jalen finally got his. I'll be real. Even though he won and everybody's giving him his flowers, I still don't feel like they'll put him up.
No. And he had a good Super Bowl performance. Right. That was a good, solid. I mean, we can look back on that and say he played well.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I think 2, 3, maybe 3 overall touchdowns. I mean, didn't really turn the ball over. I mean, he played well. Completion percentage, I think, what was it? One of the highest completion percentages in the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
He played well. I think people need to give him his flowers. I mean, you don't have to crown him like a top 5 quarterback, but at least put some respect on him next year coming into it, because he played well.
And honestly, we'll talk about it too, because I was like, okay, is he going to be better? Is he better than Joe Burrow? Would people say he's better than Joe Burrow, but then Burrow hasn't won? But then we have to completely eliminate the whole ring conversation.
Yes.
But since he's won and he's won at the highest level,
even
though Burrow got to the highest level, will he be considered better than Burrow?
Yeah.
Is he even in the top 5 conversation as far as quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Derpy also said, funny story, as soon as it ended, my father's feed complained about it, LMAO. I enjoyed the halftime show.
You know what's crazy is my parents were like, I liked it. And I was like, really? Because apparently they not like us, because like it comes, like, it's on the radio all the time and they only listen to the radio. And they were like, yeah, we were waiting for that song and he did good. And I was like, really? I was like, oh shit. I said, I see you guys, okay. So they didn't, but it was funny too, because we were at a Shake Shack in Orlando on this Saturday, and we're sitting outside. No more than like 2 minutes after we sit down outside, I hear these old people, like 50s, 60s. That was the worst Super Bowl halftime show ever. And I'm like, here we go. I'm like, my back's turned to him. I'm like, oh, bro, let me hear this. Oh. I couldn't understand them. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Ronnie's parents are bass.
I guess so. I had no idea. Well, she was like, I know you liked him and blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I liked the show. And then they were like, yeah, he did good, all this stuff. I was like, damn, okay.
Bass family.
I was like, all right. I was like, I'll take that. Yeah.
I think my mom sent me some. She was like, I think she said that Kendrick was lame. I was like,
whoa.
It's like, I think I was driving. I was like, I ain't trying to hear that.
No, I'm putting the phone down.
I ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah, no, we're not listening to that. I can't.
Miles said, I thought it was decent even though I barely watched it. You barely watched the halftime or Super Bowl? As you probably both.
Both, yeah.
No, I ain't mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew this was not everyone's favorite Super Bowl going into it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, at least it won't be like part 4 or 5 of Cleveland Warriors.
Oh yeah, we don't. Yeah.
I mean,
even though those were good series.
Some were just like overkill. I think second
nostalgia was a little bit blinded.
So the first time was cool. Second time when they 3-0 came back 3-1, cool.
Cool, yeah.
Then the one with KD, that one was just I'm sorry, that was OD for me. I was like, bro,
yeah, that was
I'm sorry. I'm like, dog. And then like the JR blunder, I'm like,
oh yeah, that's yeah.
I was like, dog, I was already like, I think game one did it for me because of the blunder itself. And I knew like if they would have won one game, that whole landscape of the series would have changed.
Oh, 100%.
But since bro fumbled, I was like, all right, pack it up.
Yeah.
Miles said, halftime I watched the entire game. And then you also said that Super Bowl was awesome to see Taylor cry and Philly fans boo her.
Yeah.
Dog, as soon as the Chiefs came out, the whole arena booed the mess out of them.
Crazy.
And then as soon as Philly, I was like, this is a Philly home game.
Yeah,
This isn't even the Super Bowl.
It was America and Philly against the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it was.
Yeah. I was like, dog, this is just another Philly home game. I felt like we didn't even leave Philly. We didn't even leave the link. We literally just did what Patrick said. Just put it over there.
Push it somewhere else.
Bro, it was that was definitely a time.
And the biggest winner too is like us as football fans, because we can go into the off season and it's not the Chiefs 4-peat.
Exactly.
Like we don't have to hear it.
Exactly.
They're still gonna talk about the Chiefs and when they bounce back.
Bro, they were already talking about the Chiefs. This loss affects his legacy.
Yeah.
That was like literally the first, like that Monday going to work. I literally saw like that was the first thing they were talking about.
Well, it's crazy too, and I respect Stephen A. because like immediately he's like, shut that down. He's like, go talk over. It's done. It's over. And then someone, I might have been Dan Orlovsky, said that they need to bring Montana back into the conversation because he obviously fell out when Brady got it, because he was like, I think his stats, he was 10 touchdowns, 0 picks in the Super Bowl, never lost in the Super Bowl. I mean, like, pretty solid, respectable numbers. So, yeah, I mean, you got to look at it with Mahomes. It's like, so you lost this one badly. Brady beat you badly. So, I mean, they're going to still talk about it. If he wins 2 or 3 more, then that GOAT conversation will come back. But for right now, it's definitely shut down. I don't see how there's any way to point to it. Yeah.
Agreed. Miles said, bro, do you think the Chiefs somewhat dropped that game? Like, no disrespect to Philly, but it was just odd that the Chiefs choked that hard. You mean to tell me that 18 other teams for 5 months couldn't do something similar to that? So, I think that what happened, so what we've been saying for 18 weeks straight is just really just what happened in that game.
I was going to say
so as we've been saying for the whole regular season, they got bailed out last minute. All their games were close. They had the lowest scoring season in all of pretty much their history. And did I mention getting bailed out? I think I did.
Yeah,
getting bailed out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So we even called it like this isn't a good team. This was not like a 15-2, 14
what is it now? 15-2. Yeah. 17.
This wasn't a really good 15-2 team.
No.
So
it never was the whole year.
Right. Like, how do you have? I mean, granted, Mahomes did take out his number one wide receiver, and did that really affect things? I mean, not really, because then you ended up trading for D-Hop.
Yeah.
But D-Hop never really integrated himself into the offense. They never really did anything for him.
I don't know. I mean, I think D-Hop is just not who D-Hop was. But
right.
Also, I think they could have got more out of him.
Exactly.
You're right. So I think they kind of just, that whole thing didn't really
click. I think, honestly, that experiment just failed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even in the Super Bowl, Xavier Worthy had 8 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. He was doing what D-Hop would have done 5-6 years ago.
So I think like the offense didn't work for him. Obviously their go-to receiver just hasn't been himself.
Yeah.
And again, the defense, as I literally said, I think in the Bills game, I was like, the only person I knew on this team was Chris Jones.
Yeah.
But then like Spagnuolo literally made up for all the weaknesses. So it's just like, oh, well, it's a really good defense. But I mean, the only thing that they really did was just contain the run.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was it.
You just hit every point I was going to hit. I mean, it's like the whole year was just like nothing sold me on this team being good.
Right.
Yes, they were 15-2. That's great. They are a good football team. Their defense was, like you said, Spagnuolo, like got them ready to play every week. But there was nothing that would have indicated if they ran into a team that was 100% prepared and healthy that they weren't going to get stopped. And
right.
They did. Yeah.
I mean, look at we made their wide receiving core look bad. I mean, who are you going to rely on? Juju? Bro barely showed up.
No, he's done. Yeah.
I mean, Xavier Worthy, I mean, he's a really good talent, so you can only do so much with him.
Yeah.
Our linebackers really covered Kelsey pretty well, and we tackled pretty well. I mean, and Isaiah Pacheco barely got a first down, if I'm mistaken.
No, I don't think you are. No, I mean, everything... No, they just were quiet. They just couldn't get it going.
I mean, maybe Isaiah Pacheco, like 2 seasons ago when he was pretty good.
Stomping down the field. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, but to answer your question, honestly, Miles, I believe there were 3-4 teams that could have beat them.
Yeah.
Cincy, obviously, Broncos, Bills did, and freak, I'm probably forgetting one other team that was pretty close to beating them. But I mean, let's be real. If they didn't have those last second calls, this would be a different record.
The Broncos game where he missed the kick.
Right.
I mean, there was just.
I mean, granted, they didn't have the starters out, but
yeah, it's just there was just signs about this all year, and they just happened to just win 15 of those games. But they were all close, like you said. They were all a couple of fluky calls here and there, missed field goal. I mean, the writing was on the wall, and Philly just walked in there ready to play.
And I'm gonna go back to my point I said when the Bills and the Ravens played. If either one of those teams would have played Kansas first instead of each other,
what you said earlier,
to go to that, I think that would have been a differently. I mean, because the Bills Ravens was already close.
Yeah,
obviously, in the Bills or Kansas City, if the Ravens would have played them, maybe give a slight edge just because they didn't have Xavier Flowers.
Yeah.
But I truly believe they probably would have been stopped.
Yeah.
In there. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to say it's fact, but it would have been a different playoff game.
They ran into the Texans, and the Texans gave them a little bit of a game, but they were beat up all year, and they're just not who they were last year.
Right.
So you knew how that was going to end. I mean, they're really just. If they would have just got the right matchup at the right time, if Cincy, and I hate to say it, but if they would have snuck into the playoffs, they could have easily done some damage to KC.
If Houston didn't lose Tank Dell and Stephon, different game.
Different game for sure.
Yeah. Different game.
You lose technically 2 ones on that team. I mean, especially for CJ Stroud, the way he treated him. So it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't in the cards for them. But
to answer your question, Miles, I think that's what happened. Just they got bailed out a lot. I mean, we've been calling it out for weeks now, and there are a lot of games that they won just off of pass interference calls, roughing the passer, and literally getting bailed out for first down.
Yeah.
So honestly, that's how I see it. But looking forward now to next season, what are the notable changes that's going to happen? So for Philly, we have a new OC, which honestly I'm pretty confident about. I think how this team is structured. We Howie and Young Hefe, they definitely do a great job of filling the holes that are needed. We didn't really. I mean, this is out of the blue for me.
Yeah,
I thought they were really going to take their time.
Yeah,
so
they apparently had. I mean, I think, and shout out to Kellen Moore. From what I've seen from all the Philly fans, is that they respect the fact that he took. Who was it? Was it Gannon that kind of bailed on you guys? So he put everything aside. So I'm not taking any interviews. I'm not doing anything until this is done. Job was done. Then he went to New Orleans. But I feel like he did give him a heads up, like, hey, I'm probably going to end up taking a job somewhere. Yeah. And they had it already in plan. So that's an A-class organization. I mean.
Yeah. No, and honestly, I respect the fact. Low-key wish he would have stayed, but
I mean he had you guys clicking this year.
I understand. Like, I'm not in their position to be an OC to have a head coach. Obviously, I know the pay is different, but I'm not physically there to see the transition to have the opportunity granted and to be him, or if he even saw himself being a head coach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, you would probably take that job too if you were in your company.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, well, you get more control, more money. You would, 10 times out of 10, like, we probably all do it.
Of course, yeah.
So I completely understand. Here's the thing, though, and I remember when the salary cap, Lord, used to be 230. Now it's going from 270 to 281 point mil.
That's a lot, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of wiggle room for these teams now to sign a lot of people.
There is, which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you would assume, too, that opens it up for bigger contracts.
Correct.
Because that's, priority number one. And I think you look at, we talked about baseball. There's really no salary cap right now. The $500 million contracts and stuff. I mean, the NFL, the schedule and the training and everything, they deserve to get paid more than they have been getting paid. So, it gives a lot more wiggle room to some of these teams.
I bet you next season they'll probably be close to 290.
Probably, yeah.
Good Lord.
Just going to keep bumping it, yeah. I mean, the NFL, from what I've heard, is getting more profitable each year, too. I mean, they can do the Peacock deals, do all these big deals, so you might as well start paying the players more, too. But
I did see something, too, where there's a possibility that we could be watching next season on Netflix.
Oh.
So that's definitely going to hurt viewership.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real. If I have to get a Netflix up, I'm probably just gonna keep my NFL Red Zone and just do it off of there.
Yeah.
If I have to miss a Sunday night or something, then I'm sorry, but
yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I think they're gonna integrate Netflix at some point, but I do think maybe this is just like nostalgia talking, but like I can't see them kicking like Sunday Night Football off NBC,
right?
And like Monday Night Football off ESPN. Like I feel like those are like integral parts of like the viewing experience.
Definitely.
So maybe they'll trial run like 4 games every Sunday on Netflix, and then kind of keep the rest of it. But
no, that's a good idea too, and especially with Thursday night because since it's on Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I actually watched that on Twitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually follow like Prime on Twitch, and then I just
you
watch
can get it on there.
Yeah, okay. So I bypass that. I just go straight.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah,
I just go straight. I mean, mind you, it doesn't have like any. It only has like the regular commercials, like
the basic,
not like Twitch commercials.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, yeah, nice. I bypass that. And then let's see. Derby said former Pelican Javonte Green is now a Cleveland Cavalier. He's been bought out. How do you feel about the DeAndre Hunter trade? Because I know you guys got that. So you guys is basically y'all just stacked up.
Loaded, yeah.
So honestly, D, what's your prediction for the playoffs? Oh, you're loving it? Yeah, I bet, bro.
Yeah.
Because I really just got them for essentially nothing.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, yeah, y'all got a couple pieces for nothing, and y'all still chilling number one in the East right now. Honestly, I low-key feel like this has not changed. The only thing that's changed is that Philly is the 11th seed. And
plans generous. They just signed Lonnie Walker too.
Right. Speaking about basketball, shout out to LeVar Ball, man.
I know.
That is crazy. I mean,
I thought it was a Sentinel tweet. Like I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's fake. Like they photoshopped it, and then I looked. I was like, no.
No, I saw it too because at first I saw like the report, and I was just like, it was like from a questionable page on Facebook, or no, I think it was. No, it was a questionable page, but then it said TMZ. I was like, cooked.
Yeah.
Cooked.
That's crazy though, yeah. I guess they didn't say what kind of health problems it was, but I mean, usually with that, I think it's like diabetes, something with like blood flow issues, but yeah. So
I was just seeing him like, I'm just like, damn. And you know what's crazy? He'll still say he could beat Jordan on one foot.
That man would be on his deathbed in 30 years.
Heck yeah. Brother would have like just no feet. And he say, just give him them ball prosthetics. Brother was still
on the court, yeah.
That is crazy. And Derby said, as a Cavs fan, it's Cleveland. They'll find a way to choke. Oh, speaking of which, Derby, how do you feel about the possibility? Actually, no, you're still. No, actually, no. I was correct. So there's a rumor that y'all could possibly get Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, who said? I think it was someone on the Steelers was like, we don't want him. He's washed.
I mean, they're not lying.
I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was a defensive back was like, no, this isn't the retirement home. It was something that was really funny, and I was like,
I mean, he's not lying. If you find that, please send
I will send it. I'll find it. He might know because he might have seen it on his feed. But yeah, it was something like that. I was like, oh damn,
that is crazy.
There was another one too. I forgot to send it to you guys. It was on TikTok. It was this kid. He was like, "Oh, my Aaron Rodgers shit this weekend." It was like, do a lot of drugs and be bad at my job.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh man,
I hate your family. Yeah. Oh, he said it was Deshaun Elliott.
Deshaun Elliott. Okay.
Got you.
Yeah, I got to find the quote now.
So Miles said, "I'm still trying to figure out how Luka is a Laker and no one knew this was going to happen. I'm just confused as to why we got rid of or how we got rid of street clothes." So I was going to ask the question last week. Who actually won this trade? Because at first I remember I said the Mavs won or the Lakers. Oh, I forget who won. But to the surprise of absolutely no one, Anthony Davis is hurt.
Oh, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Who would have thought that you traded for an injury-prone player, he would magically not be hurt on his new team?
Oh, I found the quote real quick.
Go
so
ahead.
I guess this came out. There's a picture of him and Aaron Rodgers, so maybe they're cool, or maybe this was afterwards. But he said leave his ass at the retirement home. Under the comment where it was like Steelers possibly get Aaron Rodgers, and he said leave his ass at the retirement home. But then they posted a picture later, and he was like, "That's my boy" or something. So I don't know. Maybe they're cool, but that was the first thing I saw. Was like,
right,
yeah. But, yeah. So
so when I said the Aaron Rodgers thing, he said F no. He said leave him at the retirement home, like you said. And Miles, you said it's still too early to tell. I mean, in the beginning, Luka, what's he been averaging, like 15 so far?
Yeah, I think he's been restricted a little bit coming back from injury. Yeah. But I think Reddick said that he was going to let the cuffs off of him, try to give him like full range of minutes after the break. I don't know, but
well, I mean, all I can say is one player's on the court, the other one isn't.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean, Mavs fans were so it was gotten to the point where they were literally doing death threats.
Yeah.
Protesting. I forgot the GM. I think the GM didn't show up to a game because he felt like his life was in danger.
There was that, and then the CEO came out today and said that he underestimated the reaction that the trade was going to have. The Maverick CEO said that, and then they were like, "Imagine that the CEO's out of touch." How did you not think that this was going to be a bet? Oh my god, man!
I swear we've had this conversation before. I know we've had this conversation before. I mean, all right, fine. You have a star player who can't get his health under control. You feel like he's a detriment. All right, cool. But you trade for someone with not lesser value. He won a chip. Everyone's going to still put an asterisk on that chip.
Yeah.
But
the ring's there. I mean, but yeah, like
that of all players,
we talked about it, and like, Anthony Davis stays healthy. He's a great player, so he helps them right now. But he's not going to stay healthy. He hasn't been staying healthy. You knew that. They knew that. If the medical team could have shut down that Hornets-Lakers trade, how did the Mavericks medical team not shut down the Anthony Davis trade?
Apparently, the Hornets knew
that he was...
Yes.
Well, I guess, and I didn't know this, so I had heard the name, but I didn't know how... I mean, he was like... He's been hurt a lot,
right?
But he has like all-star potential, like,
right.
Big. So I'm like, okay, I guess
had a high ceiling.
He had a high ceiling. I'm like, I get it. I guess you trade Connect. There's a little bit of a backlog in that position, so you get a big, which you need.
Right.
It's like, okay, but like, yeah, he's only played like 82 games in the last 2 seasons or something.
It's so crazy how they try to sneak that under the rug.
Yeah.
To the point where they didn't think that they would fully expect.
Like, there's a process with the trades, and you go through medical and you do the physicals, and you're not going to catch it.
Right.
Your team caught it. You don't think the Lakers team is going to catch it?
So now your better rookie, who's better than Bronny. Yes, I said it. He's better than Bronny. Yeah, you trade him back, and now he don't even want to be there.
I know, he looks miserable.
Bro, he does. He's like, he was cool, and now he like, I don't mess with y'all.
Oh no, they gave him nicknames, they gave him all this stuff, and now it's like, damn, you guys were trying to show me that.
Word. That is insane.
They really everything was fumbled on that end, both sides.
Derby said, "Mr. Glass."
Yeah,
primarily. I mean, he was literally standing there trying to make a play, and then he was holding himself. I was like,
What happened?
I was literally like, "Did someone hit you?" I was mad confused. I was like, "All right, maybe it's a groin." It was a groin. I was like, "Come on, bro. You're joke. You were just playing like last week, and you're already injured."
And now let's say he's out for, I don't know, a month and a half. Then you don't have Luka anymore, and then you lose Anthony Davis. So now your positioning in the West goes all the way down.
Tank.
And like, what are you going to be, a play-in team?
So right now they're actually 8th.
Well, they're going to hit 10th in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
The only 2 teams that are behind them right now is Sacramento, and Golden State.
Damn.
I'm going to assume that everyone just automatically wrote off the Suns. They're 26 and 28.
What are they, 10th, 11th?
11th.
So
I'm going to automatically assume that they just wrote them off.
Those 3 teams below them are going to leapfrog.
Yeah.
Easily. Because
Golden State got Jimmy B.
Jimmy B, when he gets into sync,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know how good or bad he's been. Well, obviously he's an all-star.
No, he's been better. He's been better.
Better, yeah. So I mean, that team's gonna get a little more cohesive. They're gonna jump. Sacramento, to me, made decent enough moves. I mean, Levine's there. They're gonna jump.
I'm gonna be real. They might just take the 8th spot. Golden State might, and then it'll literally just be a play-in.
I would almost say that Sacramento and then Phoenix would take the 9 and 10, and I mean,
that's how, and that ultimately depends on how quick they can get them back.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
So I mean, Kyrie been playing like it's like rookie season Cavaliers when it was just him and Anthony Bennett, but. And no disrespect to those guys, but I'm just like
disrespect to Anthony Bennett, but
all I'm saying is
but anyway,
bro been putting up 30. I think he's been putting up 30, 40 lately.
It's
been him again.
It's like the Westbrook syndrome. It's like, I mean, when you have the ball and you take that many shots and you drive to the rim, you're gonna score points.
I mean, but bro ain't got nobody else around him.
I know.
I mean, he does. I mean, he got bigs, but it's not like back in the day where it's like 20, like. Double, like LaMarcus Aldridge or Tim Duncan.
Who is it? It's Lively, and then is it Powell?
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
respectable bigs, but like, he doesn't have.
Yeah, it's not like back in the day, like you got scoring bigs.
No, definitely not.
No. So, ignorance is bliss. I mean, it's crazy how they really did not think it was gonna.
It's just like, we're just like average people and we're just sitting here and we could have, like, we told you already that this was happening.
Right. Like
so,
that.
I don't know.
I mean, the diehard fan would have told you, like, bro, you're making the biggest mistake of your career.
Oh, yeah.
And
everyone already said that. They were like, so you're giving away prime Luka for Anthony Davis, who gets hurt all the time?
Yep.
That's what you're going to do? Okay, and now look where you're at.
And Miles, to answer your question, like how did they get rid of street clothes? I'm be real. I think they were just already tired of him, low key. I mean, I really think they just had conversations behind the back, and hey, if you're presented an opportunity, hey, why not? Why not take that chance and get somebody better? And I mean, for what they were able to get with him, I mean, I was basically a steal. So it just worked out in both their favors, unfortunately. But yeah, so going back to the All-Star game, it was all right. So my only thing about the All-Star game, and I think Kevin Durant said it too, but I think he was saying it to be more petty.
Yeah.
That they should basically just cancel the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Overall, I know we're not changing the format, but at what point is the All-Star game just no longer a thing? It'll always be a thing, but it hasn't been. No one has enjoyed the All-Star game since Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
And that was
17, 18, 19, somewhere in that.
I want to say as far as like 2015.
Yeah, because I think it was like a 3-year stretch, right? Was Gordon in there 2 or 3 years in a row? But yeah, I mean, and I know they're already trying to hype it up, and then like Giannis is like sending eyeball emojis to Ja about the dunk contest next year. It's probably not going to happen. I doubt it. I mean, really, if you look at it, all the All-Star games right now suck. The baseball one still has a little prestige. They do it right, but the NFL one, no one cares about the Pro Bowl. No one cares about the NBA All-Star game. The hockey one, I mean, people tune in sometimes, but I even heard that one's bad, so they just got away from like the concept of it. I mean, I don't know. I think they can end up doing away with it, or either they're just going to make it worse and make it like a skills challenge, and that's the All-Star game.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you appease the general populace that don't really watch sports to attract more eyes, and then you essentially shoot yourself in the foot.
You alienate the people that actually,
and that's really a growing trend with a lot of these companies now, not including sports, but also gaming, music.
It's such a thin line, and they got to tread so carefully, because I'm like, you can alienate the like hardcore people that are always going to be there, and you're trying to appease the people that like might stick or might not, and then you lose people in the mix. So I mean, it's all about money right now.
Right,
that's all it is, like you said.
Yeah, I think at some point you really they're never going to just abolish it wholeheartedly, but at the point that it's so far gone to where it changes the format every year, I'm just like, listen, you have a better chance of this going back to how things worked, versus coming up with a new format of doing it every year and no one watching it.
Yeah.
So that's really just my stance on it completely. To those who are entertained, I'm pretty sure being there is a lot more enjoyable than watching it behind the TV.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I remember,
the experience.
What year was it in Orlando? It was probably 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
I wanted to go because I'm like, it looks cool just having that, like, they had like the fan interaction stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, watching it on TV, I just don't think
you're right.
Yeah, doing it any justice.
Yeah, right. I was just about to say that too, because watching a 3-point contest in person, I'm pretty sure that's the most hyped thing you'll probably see
100%.
In terms of basketball. But seeing it behind a TV screen, just depending on like who's shooting that night, it may just you're not really tuned in.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree.
So I think that would definitely just be a void in between what they'll do and how things will go.
Yeah.
As far as I think there were some other because Mac McClung, he three-peats a dunk contest.
What is your opinion? So Mac McClung, I know he's not like otherworldly, like NBA All-Star kind of caliber talent, but does it get to a point where maybe he should be on like the bench of some team? Because I mean, they got Bronny rotated in there, and I'm like, McClung's got the athleticism's there. He could probably give you a couple points in like some garbage time minutes. I'm like, why is he not on a team?
I agree.
He's like a G League legend. Apparently, he's won like MVP and this and that. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like someone should give him a pass and get it on there. But
I feel like a lot of these guys that are highly touted out of college, their game doesn't really transition that well into the pros.
That's true.
So that might be why, like, it's like he capped out at the G League, but for some reason in a professional setting, his game may not really be up to part of where they want it to be.
No,
but at the same time, you can't really take someone who isn't really prepared yet and keep moving him back and forth. I
agree with that too, yeah.
But someone who's shown you that he can compete at that level, as you said, I believe he should be on the bench.
I think at the very least, I mean, he sells probably a couple extra tickets. He's a 3-time dunk contest champion. He's got a little bit of notoriety behind his name now. I mean, yeah, I think he deserves something.
I agree.
Yeah, and that conversation was brought up. People were 50-50, but I think he does personally.
I mean, why are we still? I mean, Lord, Miles said no one wants the All-Star anymore. It died when Kobe left.
That's fair. Yeah,
agreed. I think it left a little bit before, but that's a good point too. I mean, again, I don't want to keep harping on the subject, but I definitely agree. You can't have Bronny, who isn't really developed yet, versus someone who's been in the league for a long time. Well, not a long time, but he's been on NBA court. He's been on G League. I would pick him up. Yeah. You don't get it. You don't lose anything by having him.
No, I mean, you bury him at the bottom of the bench, but like just to have him, give him an NBA salary. I mean, give him, garbage time minutes, whatever. But yeah, he deserves, something.
I mean, worst case, you could put him in the rotation, but it's not going to be, it's not going to be something lackluster. And I mean, let's be real. The way that a lot of these guys are talking now about production in the NBA, I'm pretty sure he's a lot better than a lot of people's benches right now.
Exactly. And there are some bad teams out there. Yeah. They could at least throw him at the bottom of the bench. Side note about him, he's Riff Raff's cousin.
What?
Completely forgot. I remember I saw that. I think whenever he was in high school, Riff Raff would post him, and I didn't even correlate it. And then I saw it like a week ago, and it was like, yeah, this is Riff Raff's cousin. Yeah.
Word. That is
crazy.
Wild.
I didn't. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I really want to say small world.
I don't know. I don't even know how I think it was, I don't know if it's like first or second cousin, but like, I know they're related.
Small world. Oh, another topic that just popped in my head. And I would definitely like the chat to definitely chime in. So I know you said you didn't watch the All-Star game, but did you see what happened with LeBron in the All-Star game?
Yeah, about him not playing?
How do you feel about that?
a little weird, isn't it? People are coming up with crazy theories about how he didn't play this year because he wants to do it right next year because next year is going to be his last year. He wants to go on like a retirement tour and make that his last All-Star game.
Who the hell said that?
It was like actually like people with a better setup than us, and it was like a studio podcast, and I was like, this is fucking garbage. But that's not the reason he didn't play. There's definitely just like, I don't know.
They need to.
Yeah, people. There's a lot of people. Listen, I'm not claiming we're experts, but there's people that get microphones and just say whatever they want to say.
They need to get sniped.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not IRL,
no,
but the channel.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
I wish I would have sent it to you.
I'm glad you didn't.
He laid out a whole plan. It was like a 2-minute video of.
Like, so Miles said, "Dude is a bum." All right, so let me get this straight.
LeBron James is a bum?
Yeah. So, all right, let me get this straight. So, you knew your foot wasn't 100%.
And
you knew that you got selected for All-Star game. You wait until the day of when you get selected to go out and present.
Mm-hmm.
You say, "I'm not going to play."
Isn't that crazy?
This was not a game time decision. And then you're going to say, "I'm going to wait till Wednesday when we play Charlotte."
Yeah.
Knowing. So you hold someone out of a All-Star spot.
Yeah. Knowing full well ahead of time. You didn't wake up one morning and your foot hurt the day before.
But there's a bunch of guys who would have injuries prior, and they would let them know.
Put the cape back and go, okay.
But this is when they come out with selections, I'm not going to be able to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not the night of. Miles said, "Bro, LeBron is a diva that's worse than a woman." My issue with all these fans and him is the principle. You telling me that you just... does that not, like...
No, you're on the right track.
Does that just not show, like, no one values the All-Star game anymore?
Pretty much. And he's been in, 20 of them?
I mean, you're telling me out of all the ones that you've been in, this one you're just gonna sandbag and you're just gonna be like, "Oh, well, I'm not." I'm just like
the street clothes
when he came out for the intro,
and the intro, and then the pictures.
That's why I'm just like, bro, you could have just been on the bench. You could have just did what Giannis did.
Yeah,
bro, you could have just been chilling.
I guarantee you, they're not playing otherworldly defense in that.
No.
Game. So what's the deal?
It's almost YMCA, but there's no defense.
Yeah.
But that's my issue. That could have went to Norman Powell. That could have went to, oh Lord, I wish I'd been keeping up with basketball. Maybe DeMar DeRozan, DeAndre Fox, or De'Aaron Fox. It could have went to anybody else.
White, I don't think Derek White's had a decent year. I mean, he's been good. There's at least someone that's had a decent enough year to get an All-Star spot.
Buzzing.
Thank you. But yeah, no, I'm with you.
Miles said, "Bro, he doesn't care about the fans, brother." He said, "Like LeBron is ignorant dude and only cares about LeBron." It's just frustrating when you have a spot that could be given to somebody, but you disclose your injury the night of.
Yeah. I'm
like, bro, that could have went to someone else. It's just the principle.
Super disrespectful.
Maybe I'm just blowing it out of proportions. Like, bro, it's All-Star game. But then it's just like, it goes back to why are we making the All-Star game a huge deal if you have that and then we're just already downplaying the whole entire meaning of the All-Star game. Yeah. It's just like, that's what I'm referring to.
No, I'm with you. 100%.
It's again, I'm a casual. I'm just I would be considered a sports normie, but I think it's more so just respect for my peers and being like, you know what, I just won't play. I mean, honestly, if you were even nursing an injury, if you knew in the beginning, you really could have just gave it to somebody else.
LeBron, Miles is going to agree with me when I say this. LeBron doesn't have the like pass the torch gene. He doesn't have the like, you know what, I'm going to step back. He wants the spotlight. Mm-hmm. He always wants the spotlight. He didn't want to pull himself out of the All-Star game because he still wanted to be there.
Right.
He didn't want to give it up to someone else.
Right.
And he is LeBron first.
Agreed.
It's just how it is.
And then Derby said, "Ha, coming from a Kobe fan, Miles, that's hilarious." That's tough.
Damn.
See, and again, that's why NBA is losing their viewership. LeBron has pushed out more people than he's kept. Kobe kept a lot of people engaged into the game.
Yeah.
Steph, his other peers kept the game interesting. If anything, LeBron has drove players and fans away. I mean, there's always going to be Bron sexuals.
Yeah.
But overall, with him being in the NBA, it's done the NBA more harm than it has good.
Yeah.
And you said Kobe was a selfish prick too. I'm gonna be real. Kobe he set a standard. It was literally like Jordan. You would probably have to say the same thing about Jordan. Jordan was a prick. Kobe was a prick, but they wanted to win. It was no nonsense. Kobe was on lottery teams, pushing these guys to at least do better so they're not losing the bums. But LeBron is out here crying, flopping, being a diva, not being in my opinion, a great leader.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy how you have your two best players saying that, well, we need more.
Yeah.
And the team gives up an arm and a leg and you get bounced.
Well, you bring up too, all those people you just brought up are pricks are like the greatest basketball players of all time. You have to have that mentality. But there comes a time and a point.
Right.
I think they're all varying levels of pricks because, like you said, LeBron has the diva. He's not a great leader sometimes. He's this, he's that. I think Kobe was at times a great leader. I think he willed his team. I think he was hard on the rookies and stuff like that, but he had the will to win. Jordan, I think, was just I don't even want to slander his name, but wouldn't say he was a great person from what I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, family side. He had his own issues with addiction and stuff like that, but they all had their own issues. But I think, LeBron in a bubble, he just isn't. He's just diva-ish. He just comes off like that. And Jordan and Kobe, I never got the impression they were divas. Not on that level. So
they were questioning LeBron's leadership back when they went to the Heat, and got bounced by the Mavs. They were questioning his leadership because he just didn't show up.
Yeah,
everybody made excuses. Same thing in Cleveland.
Yeah,
same thing now. It's a revolving door, and I mean, Kobe would play injured, and that brother was getting you wins and playing against your team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no disrespect. When's the last time LeBron played hurt?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And I'm not saying it's true or it's not true, but the argument people would bring up is like, well, he's in load management now. He's 40 years old. But also, I mean, when you're at that level and you are who you are, you still play through that kind of stuff as a leader.
I don't know. Everyone says this game isn't a contact sport, but seeing how people are literally taking games off, not playing physical.
Yeah.
They took physicality and defense out the game. For a game that's not a contact sport, I assume you would demand a lot more from people.
Yeah, just food for thought, I guess. I'm
just saying. But going back to the chat, Miles said, bro, LeBron fan base is a lot worse than Kobe's. And he also said Ronnie is 100% facts. Derby said Kobe didn't want to go to the Hornets, Bobcats at the time. Miles said Kobe and Michael were the two biggest a-holes for sure. And Miles said this dude said Bobcats. Derby said, I don't know if it was New Orleans or Charlotte. Miles also said Kobe wanted to go to the Lakers for sure. No different than Eli not wanting to play for the Chargers.
Yeah, good point.
Derby said F Kobe, but respect to his daughters though. And then Miles said, bro, if Kobe had LeBron mentality and also decided not to play through injuries, he would have easily played an extra 3 to 4 years. But look at the championships he would have never won.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kobe didn't go through what he went through, I don't think that he would be, 6-time champ?
Yeah.
5, 6 time? I know it's 5 or 6. He
did the finger thing. I think it was 5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. I think 5 time. Yeah, he wouldn't be a 5-time champ.
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect, bro. If we really want to talk about stats and what either player has done, I mean, the work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
People forget before Kobe tore his Achilles, he was tearing up the league, averaging 26 a game. Kobe also had Phil Jackson, but people forget about that. And LeBron also had Eric Spoelstra. Only got 2. He literally had the best team. Only got 2. He had Kyrie for how many years? Got 1.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Lakers. What do you got? 1. All I'm saying is if we're gonna keep, because that, if anything, that's one thing that genuinely pisses me off, that we're taking pot shots at Kobe, especially when he's dead.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm just like, why does no one ever say the same thing about LeBron? LeBron went to how many finals? Like when he first got drafted,
07 against the Pistons, lost, and then he went against the Mavericks, lost. Yeah.
So I'm just like,
he was 0 for 2 before his first one. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. No, you said F Kobe. No, and that's your opinion. But where's F LeBron? Why does LeBron always get a cop out? Why does no one ever point that junk towards LeBron? It's like I don't understand it. Why is LeBron always getting a cop out? And
he always has. Yeah.
I mean, like, why does no one ever keep him to the same standard as Kobe? Even if LeBron had Phil Jackson, what would happen? Would that change his mentality? Hell no. I don't think it would, because LeBron came in and he was more of a passer. He admitted how he was. His archetype was Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe and Jordan, they were like, move out my way.
Yeah, get to the basket and score. Yeah.
I just don't understand why we keep bailing out a person who says, I need help. You had Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron. Well, we need a true point guard, or we need a true scorer. See, I wish we was unfiltered. I wish we was unfiltered.
I know, just to let it go.
I'm just like, bro, Kyrie, did we just forget about the finals when they combined 50 for 7 games? They had 50. Are you freaking kidding me?
And the other narrative too that LeBron used to cop out for is that he's lead GM. It's like,
bro,
he's gotten coaches fired, he's gotten players out of there.
Here's the reason why Alonzo, Jordan Clarkson, Randall,
Kuz,
bro, what?
Bro,
he shipped that whole entire...
They took the young nucleus of the Lakers they were trying to build and just threw them.
He bombed that team. But Kobe.
And then who we bring in? Rondo, Howard. We brought in like corpses of like all-stars. But yeah.
But F Kobe. You can't make this up, bro. He said this man like an all-star players around him. Kobe never played with an NBA top 75 player. LeBron played with 5. And out of those 5 that he played with, how many rings he got with each of them?
I mean, Kobe was winning championships with Powell, Sasha Vujacic, Fisher. Bro, not like these are good players back in the day, but like,
bro, since when did we start talking about they had help? Bro, look at how the rosters were constructed back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't you? That was what you wanted: a winning coach, a star player, and then building stars around it. Bro, you had literal bigs that were putting up like 30.
I mean, they were running with the role players. All did their role on the Kobe teams. It was Jordan Farmar. I mean, like they had Bynum for those little
Odom, Ariza.
Yeah, Trevor Ariza.
Bro, but like out of those, basically Gasol was putting up Bynum and Code.
Yeah.
I mean, Derek Fisher was literally just there to pass the ball.
He was, yeah. He was a good facilitator.
But then you had Ariza and Shannon Brown. But, I mean...
But, like, those names you just mentioned, but, like, LeBron with Chris Bosh, he's played with, Bosh, Wade. He's played with, obviously, Kevin Love. He's played with Kyrie. I mean, like, he's always had, like... Because he facilitates it, because he's the GM, and he tells you who he wants.
I mean, bro literally structured a roster... We're not gonna win 1, 2, 3. We're gonna win 5, 6, however many. Out of 4 years there, you won what?
Was it 2?
You won 2.
I think he went to 3-1-2. And then what's crazy too is I don't know if you remember the Dirk Nowitzki flu game where they were mocking him afterwards, where Dwayne Wade was like and like grabbing his throat and stuff in the tunnel. They got not swept, but they got cleaned up after that.
Yeah.
But like that was the mindset that they had. They were all just like, "Oh, we're like the best team that's ever." And that's why people hated him.
Come on, but F Kobe.
That's how this all started, but that's true. I know.
No, I was just not. No, I respect his opinion. If he doesn't like Kobe, then that's fine. But I'm just like, why is it that now he's getting headshots? Bro's not even alive to defend himself, and his legacy's been tarnished because he's had help. But the man who's He constructed all these rosters.
He's played with like Hall of Famers year after year after year.
Blown all of the teams up that he's ever played for. It has nothing. He has little to show for
it. The team that he went to that wasn't stacked, he lost. Was the 07 against not 07. Was it 07? They didn't lose to the Pistons in 07. Who did they lose to in the finals? No, because the Pistons are Eastern Conference.
I think the Spurs.
They lost was it the Spurs? Okay.
Yeah.
Because, that team was like, what, Mo Williams, Big Z, Varejao. Like, these were like role players like Kobe had. And he lost, but then he had to go get help. But, that narrative got hit a peak at some point, and then it died. But then, people are like...
but he's still doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm going to call up AD.
I didn't know that... Luka Doncic was coming here. I call bullshit. You are literally in charge of this team. You got your best friend as your coach. What do you mean you didn't know? I'm going to call up AD. Oh, you're made of glass. I'm kicking you out, and I'm getting... Yeah.
I'm about to take bro's wrench away. I'm tilted. No, I'm playing. I won't take it away. But bro got me on fucking tilt. So going back, because I know Miles is also saying... He said only Shaq... Lamar Coke Odom, good lord.
He was on crack.
LeBron played with Shaq too. Granted, it was late, but still, I don't even count that because Shaq couldn't even stay on the court to save his life.
I remember. Oh, what the LeBron Shaq one? Oh yeah, no, that was He
couldn't stay on the court to save his life.
What, a year or two before Celtic Shaq?
Yeah, bro was like his feet. I'm surprised. Like,
he was built like a door, not in like a good way.
Real.
Like, he was like just big, literally, and like
it was like the same thing we talking about with Zion, but like he was just more like he was just
that was just and that was it's worse than Zion obviously because like, that was like what 15 years of impact on his knees, his joint, everything. So like he was done
exactly. And then he also said LeBron had D-Wade, Bosh, Kayla, Kyrie, Derrick Rose, Shaq, Melo, AD, Westbrook, Luka. Now. He recruited Kawhi, so come on. And he almost got PG and DeRozan at one point. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, come on, bro.
And then I remember the initial one was before the decision, it was supposed to be them going to Chicago to team up with Rose and Noah. And then it would have been Wade, Bosh, and LeBron. So that would have been like, that team probably would have won like 4 championships in a row. But yeah, it's always been LeBron has to have people around.
No, granted. So he had D-Wade sort of kind of in the middle of his prime towards the back. Bosh in his prime, his later prime. Caleb in his prime, coming off of the Timberwolves. Kyrie obviously in his prime.
Yeah.
D-Rose at that point, he was more of a journeyman because
guy. Yeah.
Because he went from Chicago, New York, then I think it was Utah, and then from Utah to Cleveland.
And then
Timberwolves,
yeah.
So he was more so on the back end.
Yeah.
I don't really count Shaq because I'm surprised Shaq was still even in the league. He got a later career Melo. He was still serviceable though. He was still good.
Was that before or after Portland Melo?
After. Yeah, after.
So was the Lakers his last stop? Or was it Portland?
It was it was Portland.
Okay.
Yeah, Portland.
So it was in the I think they were like back to back.
Yeah. And then AD, Westbrook, not past his prime, but that was after the Houston Rockets thing. Westbrook's still been good.
He's kind of coming back a little bit, which is crazy. But and then we mentioned Rondo past his prime at that point. He had been bounced around. Yeah. Dwight was way past his prime. He had been through like 6 teams by that point. So
and then Luka now obviously in his prime. So
but it's still the name recognition. He still brought all those names to the team.
Versus Kobe, where they obviously drafted a lot of players and the people that they signed weren't like
those last couple of years in LA, those teams were bad.
Yeah.
They were just rookie teams and he had to deal with them.
Like Timothy Mozgov, Luol Deng, Boozer,
God.
Yeah, that's all I can remember at that point. Three of them were MVPs. 2 of them were MVP finals. Nah, exactly. Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Shoot, I don't even know where I was going with this conversation. I was literally looking up something else.
Oh, it started with a LeBron
right.
All-Star, yeah.
No. I was more so because I know something else happened in the NBA and I was trying to look for it and I went on this huge tangent and I don't know if D did that on purpose because bro just dipped. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, bro just dipped. So I think he was just like he purposely did that and he was just like he purposely got me teed up.
But created a good conversation, I guess.
But one thing I was also going to say, the ghost of Markel Fultz is back.
I know,
and he's playing for the Kings.
Someone said when you see in the post from Bleacher Report or something, either former first round pick or former first overall pick.
Yeah,
it's over.
Nah, for real.
Which it is, but I mean, I feel bad for him. He just never really got off the ground.
And I also saw that 2017 draft class when Tatum was in there. It was crazy.
Fultz, Ball, Tatum.
And then you swipe over. What was it? Jackson? I forget. Kareem Jackson. He not even playing.
Oh, was it Josh Jackson or was it?
No, Josh Jackson.
Yeah. Phoenix.
Yeah. And then freak man, it was. He was drafted by the Mavs. Dennis Smith Jr.
Oh yeah.
Is he playing overseas now?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I was like, I thought he was still in the league.
That draft class, I remember they hyped it because it was like so much talent. Yeah. And then I remember Tatum would get a couple of little jabs thrown at him about, oh, he's this, he's that, he can't shoot, and then he ended up being the best player in that little.
Yeah, I was like, wow, out of this whole entire list, only one person's in jail. That is crazy. So I think. What else happened in the league? So we'll definitely talk about the Cam Shedeur Sanders here in a few. So that boy Debo, he finally is requested a trade.
Yes.
And they cleared it. Where do you think he'll land? Still in the
NFC? They're like 3 years too late on trading him because he looks out of shape.
Agreed.
He hasn't moved very well.
Agreed.
He's been hurt.
Agreed.
There's just not a lot. I don't even know if he's explosive anymore. I mean, you used to be able to run him on jet sweep, slants. Yep. You could run him out of the backfield. There were so many things you could do with him. But like, there's that picture I think I told you about with him in the AJ Brown jersey. Respectfully, I'm not saying I'm skinny or any of us are skinny. The gut's hanging over, and I'm like, bro, you do not have the ability to be that big with your play style. You're not a running back. You're not a linebacker. You're a wide receiver. So I don't know where he's going to land. I think you get maybe a 4th or a 5th round pick out of him now.
My thing is, I think his versatility somewhat hurt him.
Yeah.
Because now, since he's moving more like a running back and a slot guy, I'm just like, which offense would really
Who's that dynamic? Because the 49ers Shanahan offense is tailored for him.
Right.
But like, who's running that? You would have to think someone from the Shanahan tree. But like, yeah, I don't even know where he fits.
I was thinking of Baltimore, but then I'm like,
he'd get lost. I think.
Because that's what
Zay does a lot of.
Yeah, because that's what right. That's what I'm thinking. Like, because Zay does a lot of what, but then I'm just like, he's gonna want the ball too.
Yeah.
And you still got Bateman, and then I think Isaiah Likely is coming back.
Yeah.
So
you got Andrews and Likely. I mean, there's weapons there. I think if anything, Baltimore would be better just drafting someone than getting a 30-year-old Debo that's probably not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Patriots were linked to him. He's not going to help Drake May, really. I mean, there's just not.
Let me find out he goes to freaking Houston.
Oh my god!
For some reason, they're getting wide receivers like.
I know. Let's bring them all in and then see who sticks.
Yeah, let me find out. Let me find out.
They just really missed their mark with getting rid of him.
100%.
And maybe I don't. You got to think back though. 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, that would have commanded a lot for him.
That was the dude. Yeah, it really was. He was talking trash on you guys, but that was the dude.
No, that's why they never moved him, even when he requested a trade.
They're Super Bowl contenders. Why are you trading someone that's that big of your part of your offense? But now
I know he's probably seething right now.
Yeah, because I'm like, what if he gets traded and then bombs at that team? Then he ends up as like Debo's still out there. Maybe you could sign him and like try him in training camp kind of thing. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't give up a lot for him though.
Well, I'm glad I said that. I just remembered Tank Dell is supposed to miss this upcoming season.
Oh,
get him on a 1 year, maybe get him on the same thing you got Stephon on.
Yeah,
but what if Stephon still doesn't return?
Because I know Stephon's going to be out for I think definitely through training camp and everything, so he'll be out for a little bit, maybe the regular season too. I don't know.
I'm gonna throw my hat out there and say, hey, maybe. Miles said we're getting close to March Madness, y'all. Like 3 more weeks till Selection Sunday. Next week. Yeah, next week. I don't know time. I'm sorry. Yes, next week. Combine.
Yes. And Travis Hunter will be a cornerback.
Oh, yes.
He's not going out there at receiver.
Well,
Good call.
I had him as a wide receiver, so
I really think, and it's a whole different conversation, but I think they will draft him as a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
He will play cornerback, but they will have packages on offense for mid receiver. That's one thing I can think of. I don't think he's not doing these double duty. We're not playing 60 minutes cornerback, wide receiver. He's not going to hold up. So I think they're going to run him at corner, and then they'll make packages for him. Bring him out on third down for like a slant or a bubble screen or something like that. You can get away with it, but.
It's close to combine. I swear. What we're gonna do now with football over? I'm gonna be real, bro. I've been touching hella grass lately, so it hasn't really hit me yet. I'm still coming off of the Super Bowl high, so really it hasn't hit me that like I know football's over, but I'm still in like shock that Philly got another chip. So
this is I think the biggest downtime I think. Because then we got the combine, but then free agency hits, and then we get like the whole rest of the offseason talking about free agency. Then the draft starts coming up. Mm-hmm. I think between the draft, obviously, and the regular season, there's a little bit of a lull too. But yeah, I mean, it sucks, man. The offseason's so long for football.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. I mean, they go through a whole
literally
big ass season,
especially with the weeks being extended.
Yeah, no, it's justified, but like, damn.
Yeah. Speaking of which, and just throwing this out there. That brother JT is getting 7 more accusations.
Listen, I'm all for this situation doesn't pertain to it, but like innocent until proven guilty. Someone comes out and says something, you got to go through the process. When there's this many,
I still think he's going to be playing.
He's still.
Yep. There has been no word yet, and I get it. The season's over. I'm gonna say it right now. That brother will be
he's gonna be playing. There's 2 factors that go into his especially his position. So kicking's a mental game. Mentally, he is not going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
You saw with Deshaun Watson. I feel like a lot of that was mental. He just forgot how to play football.
Mm-hmm.
He's 35. He had a shit year last year. There's no redeeming quality to keep him on there. Draft a kicker and move on.
Ben Roethlisberger. The final.
What did you say? The final what?
Final point. Ben Roethlisberger. That's all I got. That brother was doing some heinous crimes and activities.
You want to hear that? This is like this might be a hot take, but like I honestly think there was a lot of truth to that.
Oh, 100%.
Something about Ben.
Yeah.
I'm just
100%.
I honestly that got swept under the rug.
Yeah, I remember seeing reports, and they literally they admitted that man was wilding out.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing some heinous things.
You can go on Google and look up Ben Roethlisberger partying, and there are pictures of him. His eyes are not open.
Bro.
There's like 6 girls around him. This is a big motherfucking 6'4" dude in the club.
Yes.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah. No, he was doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I said
that was not Mr. Church Boy. That was not Mr. I read the Bible on Sunday and go to bed. Like,
no, that was a demon.
That was a demon.
That was a straight bro.
That was before social media demon too. So
gooning IRL, yo. That man was doing things unspeakable.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, Chris Godwin, his contract extension, I believe due to his injury,
they extended the window or something like that. Yeah. Because I don't see him leaving Tampa.
Oh no.
I don't know if you do, but I don't.
No, hell no. And Panthers are also re-signing Andy Dalton to a 2-year deal.
I think it's 2 year, $8 million. I'm like,
yeah. Bro got
him and Bryce Young are friends.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is smart, obviously.
Yep.
He's serviceable if Bryce Young gets hurt. $4 million a year.
Yeah,
sign the paper, man.
Yeah, it's looking like a smart trade.
That's a valuable
or not smart trade, smart deal.
Smart, yeah. Lord. No, that's a valuable player.
I was thinking trade because I was literally going to bring up. So guess who got franchise tagged again?
Don't even bring it up, man. My heart shatters.
So what for like the 3rd season in a row?
Mm-hmm.
So now they're looking to lock up Jamar T,
Trey Hendrickson,
and who else are you going to sign?
You guys. They're stuck on this hump,
and
it's the same players, and they want to lock that. Like Jamar Chase, you have to give him a blank check,
bro. If T walked, it's like he's literally he's more loyal to both Jamar and Joe at this point.
Yeah,
like real shit. He is literally loyal to both of them versus wanting just to play for the Bengals.
For sure. I think that's what a lot of it is. But like, you cannot tell me people get hit. Like, there's a breaking point for a lot of people. He's going to go in there this year, and if they don't give him what he wants, then like I don't think he's going to play. Because at some point, like you're literally just delaying the inevitable. You have to sign him. So stop, Fran. I think his mom got mad too. I think she made some comment about like they're screwing my son. Like,
yeah,
I'd be mad if my kid like he probably called her and was like, but like screaming. I'd be like, yeah, I'd be upset too. They just like keep beating around the bush instead of like handing him a contract and saying, tell me what you want on there.
I really want to know like the details on that too, like what he's getting on a franchise tag.
It's probably
what they're like taxing. I know they're taxing them.
Oh, they have to be
that joint.
And I think they're like $18-19 million tax, depending on the player. But like also like they're costing him money because he would have got, whether it was the Patriots or the Commanders, whoever had a huge cap number they could have spent, 4 or 5 year like $150 million deal. I mean he's probably not getting that at Cincy.
Meanwhile, Tyler Boyd got a little money at
in Tennessee,
and they did Jack the Nun.
Tennessee signed all those people.
What a first round pick.
Yeah, they.
Oh God, yeah, bro.
And they signed.
Right.
They got L'Jarius Sneed,
got a bunch of
Ridley, Boyd,
yes,
Pollard.
Yes. Jack diddle, bro. It is insane.
But it's crazy too, just to bring up that point quickly, how a team can do that, like the Titans did that, and it didn't work. But the Commanders did it, and they got lucky on their quarterback they drafted, and they signed like Bobby Wagner, Eckler, like these like veterans that you just didn't know, and then they got to the conference championship. It's like it depends on how it works. It's coaching, it's the talent, but like I mean you can sign whoever you want, but sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You can't make this.
You can't make it up.
Oh my goodness! So Devontae Adams looking like he's about to be a West Coast boy.
Yeah.
So he said the 49ers or I believe the Chargers.
The Chargers make perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think that might. I don't want to say anything, but that could elevate Herbert
100%,
even over that.
100%.
Because you got to think so.
Lost Keenan Allen.
Lost Keenan Allen.
Nobody, and I know people think he's a B receiver, but I mean Mike Williams when he's healthy, he's a 1,000-yard wide receiver.
Yeah, he's proven it. Yeah. But you put Devontae as your one or your downfield guy, and then you got McConkey.
Mm-hmm.
That's solid. So I mean that would make more sense. I think the 49ers got too many moving parts to do it, but yeah, the Chargers would make perfect sense. So hopefully he gets where he wants to go. But
definitely.
He's also a headache, so.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, he needs to stop following around Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And it looks like Tyler Lockett might be hanging it up.
About that time, yeah.
Well, the Seahawks might bid him farewell, but is he going to,
catch on anywhere? Yeah.
I could see him going to the Cardinals. That was literally just the first team that just popped
in your head, yeah.
But honestly, I think he would be straight.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. I think he's
retiring.
What is he? 32.
He's not the same player, but
no,
he's been on a couple bad Seahawks teams. So
he'll be 33 when the season starts. So we are getting to that receiver age.
He could still be serviceable.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's already won the ring.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you put him with a team that's just trying to get over the hump or like a veteran receiver that kind of can mentor the younger guys. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
With Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Bro, you got to, develop I'm not drawing a freaking blank right now. Murray, it'll develop him a little bit more. He's starting to mature. You get a mature wide receiver in there.
I hate to bring it up too, Jacksonville. Miles, thoughts, comments, concerns? I don't know. Spitballing.
Speaking of Jacksonville, apparently there's a rumor that Pittsburgh was
inquiring about T-Law. Was the phone hung up quickly, or was it Did they send it the message? Or
did they even get off their shtick first? Did they even entertain the idea before they were rude?
It'd have to be like something disgusting to get rid of him. Because like, what? I mean,
you would have to trade your life away at that point. Yeah. And Miles says, "Screw Jacksonville." Bro, you would have.
I'm just trying to help, man.
Bro, you would have to move like everybody. What capital would the Steelers have to give up for T-Law at this point? I mean, because granted, we know statistically what's happening, but value-wise, he's not. You would have to give up a lot.
It's like you would have to give up a lot, but like he's also not worth like 2 or 3 first-round picks because he hasn't really.
You got to think like Jags. What leverage do they have?
Not a lot.
So it's like
they're like.
So it's like, all right, we'll give you T-Law, but you have to give us. It's a lot.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I understand where you're coming from, but if you're thinking like from Jacksonville, what they're having to give up future wise, the other teams, it might have to be a 3-team parlay.
Could be a little dance here, dance.
You know, it's like someone like DE. Y'all can't have T-Law. Oh no, he not here, bro. I think he threw stones at a glass house and ran. So, but yeah, definitely it's not gonna happen. I wouldn't be surprised, but hey, all these owners are out of touch besides a few, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So, Cowboys.
Oh,
got a couple Cowboys fans. Kick your feet up. I got some questions. I got some important questions. I don't know which ones to address first. So we'll start with the easier one. Dak Prescott. He and Jerry been smoking the same strain.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that man came out with some heinous. I don't know what that brother been on. I get it. Hamstring injuries do it to you. You know, it messes with your mental. You know, you're on the sidelines, just like, bro, like, listen, I get it. And you have this sense of entitlement automatically when you're drafted to the Cowboys. I get it.
Yeah.
What the hell makes them think that they're on the same level because we won? I get it, because we want to throw out Super Bowls. I get it. They got more Super Bowls.
That's what you want to talk about, yeah.
But they haven't won Super Bowls before I was born, before we were born.
Yeah.
So, what the hell makes them think that because they split the season? Now, all right, overall, the win-loss record, yes, I understand. I didn't realize until probably like early teens that they've been dunking on this division.
That Cowboys have?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't realize. Well, I probably should have because, they got.
Well, they always had the Giants number.
Yep.
Obviously, the Commanders, Redskins, they were who they were.
I mean, but easy, so. I don't know we split it, but I believe statistically they had a better, like they beat us more than we beat them, but it's a closer win-loss versus Philly Cowboys than the other division, the other teams. So, but I'm talking as of late, let's be real, we split the season series a lot.
Yeah, that happens.
The past 2 seasons, last season, it was split. This season but Dak was hurt both times. Confidence, I get it. You're the quarterback, so you have to be PC.
Yeah.
But let's genuinely keep it a buck. We're not in the same realm. 2 seasons ago, when he had that career year, you could say that maybe.
Yeah. Honestly, their downfall. I mean, the year that they said that was going to be their year was last year with the Packers game where they got blown out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the year where Zeke lined up under center
against
the 49ers. That was like the perfect way. They talked so much trash and said that was going to be the year that they were going to sell and get a Super Bowl. And then that was the final snapshot from that was just whatever they had in mind.
Failed.
My God.
Oh, man. That is bad funny. I still remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Just like jaw on the floor, like, what?
I was like, last play, and I saw Zeke under center, and I saw all the linemen spread out, I was like, oh, they're just gonna motion back in. We're all good.
Yeah. No.
Zeke snapped the ball, and it was just
0.3 seconds to throw.
It was just a moment of silence.
Yeah.
And
on paper, I guess it makes like a 2% chance of it working because you're putting more people, but there's Zeke, and it's like, what?
There was nobody between he and the ball.
No.
You got two dudes right at center, and no, okay.
When you do the math, that doesn't work. But if you did 2 is greater than 1, no, so typically,
I know there's no way in hell Jerry was watching that, and he was just like, there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
So I go as far as to say I saw it, listened to it. Shut up.
Shut up. Yeah.
That's all.
That's all you can say.
But more important topics, Michael Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Is it about time?
Getting close to it, yeah.
I mean, all we're doing is podcasting. I get it. That's your other. It's something you want to do outside of football. I understand. It's starting to get to a point where it's just like you're really telling on yourself. Obviously, you're mad as hell. You're airing out conversations that need to be kept at work. Now you're letting. There's going to be a different aura about you going into next season. Our team's going to really want to mess with you.
Yeah.
They'll probably still take you on, and hopefully you're happy enough to where y'all win.
Yeah.
So, you won't air out your grievances online. But obviously, I'm going to be real. I would strike while the iron's hot.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Obviously, this team is not going anywhere anytime soon. Jerry tanked this team purposely to prove a point because he didn't want to sign anybody. I've been saying it. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you're tired of hearing me talk about it.
No, I mean, it's just go around in circles. Yeah.
So my whole shtick, I trade him now. Lord knows if y'all are even going to re-sign him because he's on his 5th year.
Yeah.
Option rookie deal. I mean, he's had the most sacks, 52, since he's been in the league. Obviously, he's a difference maker, but this team is not going to be any more different than what it was last year.
No.
So
there's nothing. Yeah, nothing moves me really. That they can do.
So, I didn't realize that Lane Johnson still plans to play.
Yeah.
I thought, bro, I genuinely thought that this was going to be his last year. It sort of, kind of, because
the production really hasn't dropped. I guess he still feel like he has something in the tank. So let him go. I guess. Yeah.
Do you think that the Vikings will re-sign Sam Darnold? There's been talks that, because I know you talked about it, let JJ McCarthy in.
Yeah.
Sam just had an off year, but
it's hard to get rid of him after what he did, and the team loves him. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you can draft someone that high unless they're prepared to just cut their losses and be like, we got to bring Sam back, and then JJ let him sit for another year or trade him. But I don't know. I mean, JJ McCarthy might be a top 10 quarterback. You never know.
So I think the whole conversation is, are we just going to let him start again?
Yeah.
I think they need to go back to what they originally did, have him as a backup, bring him back. I get it. He put up starter numbers, whatever. Bring him back, but you still got to let the young bull develop.
Yeah.
So I'd say bring him in, see if he's willing to take a back seat, at least give him his money.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's asking for starter. I don't know if he's asking
He's going to probably want a lot.
Is it for Kirko money?
Probably not that high because he's only done it for 1 year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's where
I'm coming from.
Right.
But let's say he's 3 or 4 year deal for $90 million. You can't really justify that if you're the Vikings to me.
Right.
Because you have a quarterback that could be good. If Sam Darnold, I'm not trying to downplay him, but if he can do what he did in this offense,
I'm literally agreeing.
Then you could probably put JJ McCarthy in there. He'll do the same.
Right.
At least half that.
Right. But then that, I feel like just off of that one season he had, he's going to want this money wherever he goes.
Oh yeah, and he's going to look at it as this might be his only chance to get a big payday. Right. He might go out there next year for
and stink it up.
What if the Vikings are we'll give you a 1 year, $15 million deal, and then he's just he tears his ACL or he sucks, then he's not going to get that money.
Right.
So this is his chance to get it, and I don't think the Vikings are going to get it.
So it's just a dilemma of okay, we really want to start our person we drafted.
Yeah.
But we have an issue where you want your money because you got us as far as we got.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you had an off game in the playoffs. I mean, sure, yeah, but I think the only logical thing you could do is just send JJ McCarthy out there and then sign a veteran to back him up. Because I just don't think you can just give him that much money with a quarterback waiting.
Ugh. Well, someone's gonna end up signing him.
Yeah.
So whoever needs a running back, Raheem Mostert, is on the free agency. He has been released from the Dolphins after 3 seasons. Tyreek Hill apologized to his teammates after his exit speech, saying that F y'all. Well, he didn't say that. I'm saying it, but
paraphrase with like, I'm done with this kind of.
Yeah. So he just made himself look like. I'm honestly surprised he's still not retiring, because I remember he said he wanted to retire earlier.
What he said towards the end of his contract, he said he wanted to do like streaming and stuff like that. So.
But I guess that competitive nature in him is calling him back to the game. So I definitely don't understand. I completely understand.
Yeah.
Is what I was trying to say. The Giants are exploring potential sale for minority stake in the franchise. I think they just need to sell that team.
Yeah. Get the whole group out.
Yeah, I think there's just really no point in just keeping whoever's in there now. Speaking about Aaron Rodgers, apparently that brother pleaded to stay because he wanted to run it back, but the Jets. Apparently, Aaron Glenn is the Aaron Rodgers killer.
Yeah, he found the kryptonite.
Yeah, he is. Hold on. So he sees Lions as best option to face Eagles in 2025 opener. Amon-Ra St. Brown wants to play Philly in the opener.
He's obsessed with like the wrong things sometimes. Like he has that whole list of like the receivers that were drafted ahead of him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I get he's good though. I mean, like just let it be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of these dudes, like same thing with like Debo talking trash and like all that stuff. I'm like, just focus on playing, man. Yeah. The receiving group for some reason just full of divas.
Yeah, as a former wide receiver myself, but never really got too far. Yeah, That's
just how. Yeah.
I am more of the I shut my mouth and play, but I do be internally mad when the ball's not thrown my way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. I guess you could call me a diva too. Our guy, Kadarius Toney.
Oh yeah,
that brother has seen better days. He is a legend. He is behind them steel bars for putting his hands on people that shouldn't be having their hands placed on.
Yes.
That is an interesting way.
Wasn't going to get signed before. Now he's not going to get signed.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. DK Metcalf. I still wish he would get off this team. I'm sorry. If anything, I'm going to protest for this brother to get the hell off the Seahawks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He doesn't want to go to New England, which is fine, but send him somewhere.
Yeah. Good Lord. I mean, come on, bro. And Geno Smith is still the quarterback?
Yeah.
Listen, I understand the whole experiment and the project and disrespecting him. Listen, I get it. I'm not trying to disrespect him. Like, realistically speaking, they haven't been to the playoffs in 3-4 seasons?
3 or 4, yeah.
I mean, they're always a game short and a touchdown too late.
Just living in mediocrity. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I genuinely wish he would get off the team.
Yeah.
D-Hop is coming back, so he is not retiring. Josh Sweat says money is important, but he wants to be in the right situation. He may or may not come back to Philly. I'll talk about that next podcast. Yeah. TJ Mosley said that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't leave New York with head down. Brother, it's New York.
Yeah. Didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah. I'll talk about more of the Philly stuff next week as far as just signings and who I would like for us to bring back.
Yeah. I mean, some off season.
I'm gonna be real. I hope we bring everybody back.
Yeah.
Just a long story short for next week. Travis Kelce, as we talked about at the beginning, he is we're gonna monitor his situation as far as if he will retire or not. And lastly, before we leave off, Shador and Cam Ward. So now they've been chatting a lot during the combine, their pro days as well. Are we looking at the future of the NFL with those two?
Cam Ward opened his mouth and said like the worst thing he could have said, because anyone that's ever said that doesn't work out.
Yeah,
I think Josh Rosen was the last one to say that, and
we could we possibly be in the Super Bowl, and
you're gonna regret not picking me, kind of thing.
Yeah,
that doesn't usually work, but I mean,
he does have all the confidence in the world, which is understandable.
Yeah,
but realistically speaking, well, I can see them be in the future. I can see them be in the future if they go. Unfortunately, if they go to a right team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if one of these guys goes to Tennessee, I'm sorry, you're going to be in mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
Look at
there's nothing around them to work.
Look at what happened with Vince Young. Sorry. Look at what happened with every other quarterback that was drafted.
Mariota.
The only player that I can genuinely think that had any success there was Chris Johnson, CJ2K, and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Maybe the Tennessee of old.
Oh, like Eddie George and throw it back. And they had some good, Steve Hutchinson on the O-line. They had some good players there, but besides that.
For goodness sakes, freaking Albert Hainsworth was on this team. He got a fat contract.
And then he just literally went to sleep on the Patriots.
Literally, bro. Yeah. That brother was stinking it up for the Commanders.
Oh, I forgot. So he went to
Washington.
It was from Tennessee to there, and he got the huge contract. Then he got a small one from the Patriots, and he was even worse. And they were like, okay, no more.
Yeah, I had to double check myself and make sure I said.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I never forgot about that.
I forgot about the Washington stint, because that's where he got the big bag from.
I remember the Philly game when we beat the brakes off on Monday night, and that brother never left his stance when the ball was snapped. That was a good day. Ooh. That was a good night. But are we potentially watching the future? I really yes, but if they go to a good situation, I love the confidence because they have all the confidence.
Oh yeah.
Maybe draft night may or may not work. I know that Shador is supposed to go to the Giants, but Cam could also go.
Someone could trade up too with Tennessee. If Tennessee doesn't feel good about them, but
Tennessee is also supposed to take Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
So
it's confusing. I don't know where. It's definitely nothing set in stone.
Right.
It's not like last year. It was like Caleb, and then it was like, okay, well then is it like? It was like,
oh my god!
It was the Caleb, Drake May, and then Jaden Daniels combo about who was going 2 and 3. But yeah, it's not this year.
They just Bo Nix just fit in there somehow.
Yeah.
And then Michael Penix was just
yeah,
he was just thrown out there, and
I kind of feel bad if any of these dudes could have stayed. If Drake May would have stayed in college last year, first overall pick.
Oh,
I think 100%. Jaden Daniels was already up.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb might have had one more year. I think he would have been the first overall pick this year.
Yeah, I think he would. I think you.
Any of those quarterbacks who went in the top 15 probably would have been first overall pick this year.
Yeah,
just based off the talent pool. But
definitely,
yeah,
I agree. But hey, get in where you fit in.
Exactly.
Have we talked about hockey yet? Besides the USA, Canada.
Yeah. We touched on it for a second at the beginning, but
yeah, that's it. I have not been. I'm sorry, I really have not been home to really catch hockey. So I am sorry. You'll have to.
We'll get into it next week, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll definitely have to.
Yeah.
I like how on my end, the shower here is mad behind, so I'm just
I know. Yeah.
You said something. I gave you that. You say, look. I was like, what? Oh, I think it was probably when you told me Riff Raff and McClung was related.
I have to double check that, but Riff Raff swears they're related.
Yeah, that is crazy. So for my poll, it was either discontinue the All-Star game or change the format and change the format one.
Yeah.
So I agree. It's maybe I think that would just definitely be for a different day where I give my whole take on sports, but I think that's just definitely where we're at. North Carolina clapping NC State. Oh yeah, we actually got that game going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah,
it's a blowout. It's not close per se.
Yeah, it's definitely not. And I was gonna say because Miles was talking about March Madness coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas, because I've always been a Blue Jay.
Okay, yeah.
Blue Jay fan. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Bill Self and them.
Oh yeah,
we were number one for a minute. And man,
it fell back. I've been trying to pop in and out of the rankings, but yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
we are not we're getting dunked on. It is bad. I was like, damn. Like, what the hell happened? I miss us being number because last season I think we were ranked number one, and then oh man, it was bad. It was definitely a high ranked underperforming um game that got us eliminated. So yeah, March Madness will definitely be interesting. I do not know who's gonna make it out. This is definitely gonna be any
wide open,
yeah.
Some upsets and some stuff in the middle.
I'll have to see next podcast as well to see any projected picks.
Yeah.
And I meant to pull it up this week, but I will next week for our mock draft as well.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I think
we can get into that.
I think we'll have like a more accurate, in-depth look for who will be picked. So.
Yes, for sure.
But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and end it right here. We appreciate y'all for tuning in for another episode. Definitely great conversation and great debates and great crowd. I definitely definitely appreciate DE Miles tuning in and everybody else who chilled in the background. Definitely appreciate the banter as well. We definitely I enjoy those. I feel like I can actually have a conversation now and not we can actually have a logical conversation about it without having to
that's the most important part.
And throw shots. But no, like at the end of the day, this is what we talk about for our sport. So we definitely welcome and appreciate it. So we will be back next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those who live on different coasts. Until then, we appreciate everybody and we will be back next week. And we are out of here.